All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth, and Shalom to all the Achim in this truth and sincerity, starting with the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, which we're fighting to be a part of. This is the brother Chabar Yakal coming back, Lord willing, with another quick and edifying lesson. And I just wanted to do a lesson going on to this situation with the Venezuelan gangs. I wanted to do a lesson on this a while back, but I never got around to it. But Lord willing, I'm going to do this lesson and it'll be edifying, I already have an article. I already got an article from the New York Post, and this was August 29th. And it says armed crew storms Colorado apartment building overrun by Venezuelan gangs, spilling out from the sanctuary city. This is happening in Colorado. Which people always have the mindset of, oh, that's not where I'm at. That's not in my state. That's not in my country. Well, guess what? All the things that are going on in these other countries. War. Skirmishes. Okay, people invading one another. Famines. People see these things happening in other countries and think it will never come here. But guess what? It's coming to Babylon. And this is just proof right here. Showing you that this is coming. This is in Colorado, but this is about to be, nationwide. All right. This is about to be, in every state. Okay, in all 50 states, this is getting ready to be the norm on a high level. Okay. But I think it just showed the video too. I don't know how to make it go back to that. It might show it again. That's what I hate about these news things. Like, it just keeps on showing random videos that has nothing to do with the article that I'm on. But yeah, I don't even know how to bring that back. But they showed the video. You can see here the armed men from the supposed gang. This is a shocking, which this is, this is all orchestrated. Ultimately by Yahweh Bashim Shai. But this is ultimately, Ordo Al-Kao, this all being orchestrated, like I said, ultimately by Yahweh Bashim Shai through the left hand, which is Esau, Esau Edom, Satan, working with these damn devils. Okay. This isn't just some random stuff that's just happening randomly, doing it of their own accord. This is being orchestrated. All right. It's a setup. And the only ones that can see the setup are the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. And this is according to prophecy. It all goes back to prophecy. Matter of fact, I'm going to get the scriptures. And by the way, the title is Invading One Another. All right. Because this is getting ready to intensify. All right. So, going to go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. And I get right to the point. Matter of fact, I'll start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. All right, the destruction of this world that we're living in is coming close. That's what drawing nigh, in other words, means it's coming close. All right, it's near. So the destruction of this world is near. All right. The destruction of the people of this world is near. And that's why the scripture says, love not the world, because this world is getting ready to be destroyed. If you love this world, you're going to be destroyed with it. All right. But if you hate this world, if you hate your own life in this world, then the Lord is dealing with you. All right. The Lord is pleased with that, because that means you hate what the Lord hates. And the Lord hates this world. That's why he's getting ready to bring judgment upon it. All right. It says, woe. I'll read that again. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction and calamity. That's what the Lord is getting ready to bring. That's what Yahweh, which is the Most High God, and Yahushua, which is the name of his only begotten son, is getting ready to bring upon the world. Woe. And the third woe is coming quickly, which is World War III. Okay? But the word woe just means destruction and calamity, war. All right? Pretty much everything bad. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. What is the sword? The sword is a killing instrument. In the modern day, sword is the guns. And you see these men that were armed. These men you can see in the screenshot. Look at what they're holding. That's the sword. All right? And this is just a small little thing. This is getting ready to blow up on the highest level the earth ever seen. All right, everything that goes on in South America, with all these cartels and everything, the bloodshed, the brutality, that you see certain videos, of all these brutal, killings in South America, Central and South America. And like I said, people always have that mindset, oh, that's over there, that's not going to come here. Well, guess what? It's coming here. All right? And this is just a small example. It's only going to get worse. All right? Especially, with these elections coming up, and you see these weak administrations, which, like I said, it's all being orchestrated. But it's like this. The setup is just so obvious, what's coming. The scripture speaks about, the city of unwalled villages. These borders are wide open. All right, this hole is wide open. All right, just like a hole, wide open. All right, so this is local cops declined to provide additional details. The video emerged after the post identified Venezuelan prison gang shot caller. I don't know how to say it. Janardi or Hanardi Jose Pachico Pachico Chirino, who had taken part in an assault and then a shooting at the Fitzsimmons Place apartment complex in Aurora. It says, which was recently shut down over code violations, which the owner said they couldn't fix due to takeover of the buildings by the gang, according to court documents by the Post. It says the apartment investor said they've lost control of several apartments, and they're getting ready to lose control of this whole country. All right. It says, but that's that order out of chaos. All right. It says, which has been, this is an excuse for this devil to come down with great wrath. Like it says in Revelation 12:12. This is just an excuse for that great wrath to be, those draconian measures, all that legislation that this devil has in place, to lock people up, to take people to concentration camps. All right. This is just a catalyst to bring those legislations to pass, those wicked decrees, like it says in, what is that? Isaiah, I want to say chapter 10. If I'm not mistaken, I think, Isaiah 10:1. Which that's another topic for another time, though. It says they were first hanging out around the property and creating a bad element that's constantly there. And then they started taking over quite a few months ago. They started taking over vacant units and no one is stopping them. The cops aren't doing anything. And that goes into the scriptures I'm about to get to. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. That's what they're doing. They're invading. Now, they said, vacant buildings, but pretty soon they're going to be taking over, buildings and invade people's houses that are actually living there, It says, because this prophecy has to come to pass. It says, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to regard the kings or princes, the governor, the mayor. They're not going to listen to any of these people in authority. They're going to just be like wild beasts. You can't stop them. Okay, that's what the 2/3 of Israel are going to be. From the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All these different gangs. From top to bottom, they're just going to be like the scripture says, a wild bull. You can't stop them. They're just going to be doing whatever they want. It's going to get worse. All right. It says in movies like The Purge show you that. All right. Which is the spirit, I mean, this is a little off topic, but Jake at my job asked me a question. He said, "What would you do if the purge was real?" And that's the spirit that he asked that question. That was actually kind of a spiritual question. He doesn't understand, but he just randomly asked me that. And I said, "Hey, I'm just gonna be staying out the way." Really, I wanted to say I'm just gonna trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And then he's like, what? Jake was like, what? You're not going to be out there, getting active? I'm like, hell nah, bro. The fuck? Jake thinks it's a video game. See? But he's probably going to be one of those niggas out there, trying to, get active, and the Lord's going to judge his ass, Just a little off topic, but it's kind of on topic too, because that movie, The Purge, is actually going to be a reality. Jacob's Trouble. All right. And then... Jake who asked me the question started talking about, ravishing women. So that shows you that spirit is already in these men. That's going to be happening, and I'm going to get to that. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Like I said, the draconian measures. All right. They're going to shut down cities. They're going to shut down roads. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. And that's just a small example of what's to come very soon. In the next year, a lot could happen. And a lot could happen in a few months, So who knows, 2025 might be the year. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. The great tribulation is the hour, it's the time of Jacob's trouble, which also the hour of temptation is a part of that. When this devil implements the MOTB, which is the RFID micro C-hip, and the Neuralink, and makes it mandatory, all right? But the point is, a man is not going to have a pity on his neighbor. They're going to invade their neighbor, steal all their food, okay, steal their resources, steal their women. And that goes into the next scripture I'm going to end off with. Isaiah 13, and I'm going to start at 13. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at 12, because there's the flip side to it. I'm speaking about the 2/3 getting active, but the men of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, he's going to protect us. He's going to have a hedge round about us and the angels. We're not going to be out here doing what these 2/3 are doing. We're not going to be like a wild bull out here. We're going to be like a wise serpent, a snake slithering through, being camouflaged. If you see a snake slithering through in the woods, in the underneath the leaves and the grass, eventually you're going to lose sight of it. It's going to start blending in. It might climb up, slither up a tree, and you can't see it no more. That's how the elect is going to be, wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. That's speaking about the elect man of Israel, because we have this wisdom and knowledge which is likened unto gold. And the Lord's making us like gold by purifying us through sufferings. All right. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall be removed out of her place, Salakia, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger, which is ultimately the nuclear destruction, which shall destroy Babylon the Great, aka America. But before that happens, this is what's going to be happening, right before the destruction happens. It says, it shall come, Salakia, and it shall be as the chased roe, which is I believe it's a deer. It says gazelle. A gazelle and a deer is pretty much, the same type of animal. You know, they flee. You know, if you ever see a deer, they're real, skittish. You know, they'll flee if you try to walk up to it, just take off, dart away. You know, it says, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, defenseless, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. So everyone is gonna be like the prisons. Everyone's just gonna go to their own people. The so-called blacks, they're gonna go with each other. The so-called Hispanics, they're gonna go with each other. The so-called whites, which are really the Edomites, they're gonna go with their own people. And all these other nations, they're all gonna go with their own people. So it's gonna be, a civil unrest. It says, and in certain other nations, before it gets real bad, they're gonna go back to their own countries. Okay, but a lot of people, they're just gonna be trapped in Babylon, and ultimately receive that judgment. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Okay, which again, the sword is just a killing instrument. It's ultimately, whatever instrument, the gun, all right, an actual sword. Like brother said, it might be a crazy nigga with an actual sword in that day. All right, these drones, okay, these different robots that Esau has that can, these automated robots, these robo dogs, DARPA dogs, all these things are killing instruments. So everyone that is found, is going to be thrust through, meaning they're going to be, slayed. Okay. Their children, there's the point, also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. That's how bad it's going to get. These people, their doors are going to get kicked in. The children is going to be these soldiers from these other countries, they're not going to have any pity. They're going to be like Terminators, man. Grab a little toddler, throw him against the wall in front of the parents. It's going to get ugly out here, man. And that's why we're doing the right thing, so that Yahweh Shema Shah could save us and protect us from these things that are coming. All right. It says, and everyone that is joined on, Salaki, it says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. And look at what it says in the NLT. You can read it yourself. All right. I'll highlight it for you. I'm not going to say it because, the video. But that's what's going to be happening on a high level. And like I said, that Jake at my job, he asked me that question. And then he just, he just went slap off, talking about all the stuff he's going to do, to women. And he was saying that to me. I didn't say nothing. I said, hey, I'm not even going to be doing none of that. He Jake was asking me, about girls at the job. Oh, what about her? Would you, you know what I'm saying? This nigga was crazy, just coming out of nowhere asking me about, if the purge was real, But hey, really I wanted to tell that nigga, hey, your dreams are going to come true. The purge is going to be a reality. Jacob's trouble. And it's not going to go the way that you think it is. All right. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. With that, Lord willing, it was edifying. And I'm going to say,